episode of the Make It a Double Double podcast. I am not Adam. I am Andrew, but don't worry. Plenty of Dwight McNeil love. Anyway, joining me as always, Joined as always, Mark, and today, very special guest, a returning guest to the show, though not with me, the one and only Parrot Press. Sir, how are you?
I'm good, thank you. I'm very good. I was thinking, you normally ask, or the host of the show, right, normally ask, oh, how are you doing? If I turn around and just said, I'm really having a bad day, that just lowers the tone, doesn't it? What are you going to say to that?
Mate, you came to the right place because Adam seems like he has a bad week every week at the moment. And it's like, I think we've titled 2 or 3 episodes Adam's weekly therapy session already. Yeah. So you come to the right place.
In our aim, if you're feeling down now, in an hour's time, you'll feel a lot different. Hopefully. If not, who cares?
I will say thanks to everyone for coming in, including Harry Trades, who's already throwing shade at Adam already. But anyway, yeah. So, Parrot, when was the last time you were here? It's like months ago. I keep saying here as if I'm on this show all the time. But I'm just
keep it up. Keep it up.
Yeah. We could make it a permanent
fixture. Yeah, I don't remember the month. It must be what, 5 months?
It's a long time ago now.
It's got to be. Yeah, it's got to be.
It's like 10 years.
A lot has changed. Yeah, a lot's changed since then, game wise, isn't it? Hell of a lot.
It's like a totally different thing.
Actually, before we get into all of that, Sorare Saloon. I'm filling host here, but Parrot was the guest, so he was in charge of the drinks. And so, what have you brought for us today?
A milkshake of any kind. Doesn't matter what. If you want to whack alcohol in it, do what you want. But and I have cheated a little bit because I didn't make my own milkshake or anything. I popped out earlier to get a coffee, and opposite the coffee shop was McDonald's. So I got myself a nice Monopoly Play McDonald's chocolate milkshake. There you go.
Good work.
That's me.
Mark, we were saying, I mean, as this has just gone live, the RTG should have also gone live at the same time on the channel. And we were discussing this yesterday about how milkshake is your worst choice of drink, Mark.
Yeah, so surprisingly, considering the amount of hideous alcoholic choices we've had, you would probably be surprised to know that milkshake is like the worst drink for me. I fucking hate milkshake. Anything creamy, anything milky, not for me. However, Parrot, because I'm committed to the cause here, I've got myself a milkshake. Now, I went to the supermarket to find the most unmilkshakey milkshake I could probably find. So I picked the one that looks most like just melted chocolate with a bit of milk thrown in. So we'll give it a go. Got the Make It double glass as well.
I've potentially failed mine, and I've only just noticed. So I went out to buy mine earlier, and the only one Lidl had was a high-protein, what I thought was milkshake. It's actually described as a high-protein strawberry drink. So that does not sound nice in the slightest. It's milk in it, so I'm assuming if I shake it, it's classed as a milkshake. So it'll do. But I'm not looking forward to it because I've had protein stuff before, and it normally tastes like arse because they try and put as much in it as they can to get the grams of protein, and it's just powder and milk mixed together, which is grim.
So I actually read something up on this, right? And it's the same with Red Bull, right? Did you know that they could make Red Bull taste nicer, but they choose not to because if it tastes not as nice as regular Coke or lemonade or whatever, you think you're having a healthier drink in your head? Because there's a perception in your head that if something tastes nice, then it can't be healthy for you or good for you. So, and it's similar with protein as well. They can make it sweeter, but they choose not to.
I love a Red Bull, to be fair.
I thought you were going to say they're concerned that people would like drink too much of it. And that
I don't think they care about that.
Yeah. No, they don't. So I have a little story with mine. This is mine. I made it about 30 minutes ago. I also made a gigantic mess in my kitchen doing it. And I sent a picture to Mark. I have it up on my phone here. I think I can pull it up. So this is the mess that I made with, I have this, as Mark called it, I have a machine at home called a Ninja Creamy, which is like a, laugh all you want. So Ninja is like a, do you guys have Ninja like blenders?
Yeah.
All right. So this is like a new one that they have. And the idea is that you can make like low calorie ice cream. And what I do a lot of times is I will make a protein shake and essentially make it into ice cream. And they have a setting on it for a milkshake. And I had never done it before. And I was like, all right, how hard could it be? And when you make ice cream, you have to freeze the whatever you made for 24 hours. So it's like rock hard. And they were saying that with the milkshake, it should be like softer. But so I like searched how to make a creamy milkshake in this machine. And it was like, oh, just throw ice cream and milk in it. You're fine. And so I did that. And the thing just like exploded. The whole thing was like shaking on my counter and it just exploded. And this is all I have left, but it is mint chocolate chip milkshake.
Yeah, that does sound nice.
In this beer, I don't even want to call it a Stein because it's not even that big mug.
That just needs the branding on it, doesn't it, Mark? That just needs the make it a double branding on it.
Well, I spilled all over it, but there is an A on there. You can kind of see.
Yeah.
Whatever. But cheers, gentlemen.
Yeah. Cheers.
I'm going to grimace, but thanks.
Get it down, you Mark. I'm sure you've had worse.
No comment.
I'm not going to lie, that is horrific.
I would always be. So there's like because what was it called? Strawberry drink.
Yeah, literally
so
just
like, there's something.
It just tastes like sugar.
Yeah, they have like weird ice cream. Should be ice cream concoctions here, but they don't have enough milk in them, so they have to call them frozen dairy dessert. And that's what that just reminded me of. And I was like, I'm not sure what's in that, so I'm not going to eat it. But real ice cream in my
it's getting worse as it sits in my mouth. It's like making my mouth really dry, like it's sticking to my gums.
Perfect for a live stream here.
And just what I need is a dry mouth for the next hour.
Moving on, Parrot Press. What do you think of the new Sorare?
Well, when I look at my gallery, it makes me a little bit depressed. I ain't gonna lie. But you know, I was watching your stream earlier. You've just got to adapt. I made a few comments in there as well, and obviously there's a lot of noise around classic and stuff at the moment. And since last time I probably spoke to you guys, it was all about the threshold with super rares and try and grind out cap 240 and get that threshold in and week out. And then obviously things changed quite quickly. My plan then was to always just play classic, win in-season cards, sell the in-seasons, and try to, claw a little bit back, see where things are going to be, see where the land lies. And that was the plan. And then all of a sudden I FOMO'd into buying some new in-season cards and actually playing limited for the first time. I think even when I started, I think I bought like 5 limited cards and then realized that I wanted to play into rare and then went straight into rare. But I've always wanted a Spurs stack, obviously as a Spurs fan. And then I bought some in-season cards and then just carried on. And now all of a sudden I'm, I think, 1 card off a 4% collection. And so I'm enjoying that aspect of it, playing a scarcity that I haven't played before, getting cards that I haven't owned before. But at the same time, it's I wouldn't say the word worrying because I'm enjoying it, and I'm not at risk if I lose things, etc. But there's a lot that's changing kind of constantly at the moment. But we'll see where it goes. It's exciting. You just got to adapt with it and go with it. And old users and old players, so to speak, are going to be pissed off because the goalposts are moving week in and week out almost. You just got to rock with it. They're trying to find their feet as much as the players are, and they're trying to do it in a way to keep us happy. And it's not gonna. People ain't gonna be happy all the time, right? So
There was
what it is.
Sorry, go on.
Do you feel like there's this we're the guinea pigs in their experiment to figure out like what's going to work and what doesn't, and we just are kind of forced to roll with it?
Yeah,
100%.
I think with Classic I think it was Hoodwink the other day put something out, and people were, and I do understand that they moan about the level of cards that are being given out, how many cards are being given out compared to the entries. And it was a super rare one where he tweeted out saying there was only 3 rewards, but it also said up to 25% get a box. And I think once people realise that boxes can probably be more valuable than just a DMP tier 5, there is more rewards than you think. So I'd much rather now have a decent box than a tier 5 card that's going to sit in my gallery or worth absolutely nothing, that I end up doing a giveaway just so we can gain an extra few subscribers. It's not worth them sitting there. Whereas now, like we literally last night were looking at, like, Mark crafted 3 cards yesterday and he had absolutely zero luck with them all. But there's guys on Twitter crafting 3 tier 5s, but there's people crafting stars and tier 1s and tier 2s with 20 essence. Now, if you scrap boxes, your card rewards go up, but you don't have a chance at getting those higher cards if you're scoring as low as you can do to earn a box. So boxes for me are almost like a threshold. Some people are winning 10, 15, 20 boxes, and that guarantees you at least 1 or 2 crafts every weekend, which is a card reward. Yeah. And instead of finishing on 350 points for nothing, you're finishing on 350 points, you're getting a box that could be leveled up God knows how many of the times. But if you get lucky with that one craft, all of a sudden you've got a game-changing card in your gallery. So I think for higher end users, it seems a bit annoying because you maybe don't win as often because the cards aren't there. But more people are winning or gaining something now each week, I think, than they were before, personally, which I think is getting overlooked in Classic.
I think that Essence and boxes have been an amazing addition to Sorare. I don't know the longevity of it, and I know that there's some analysis going on around giving out too much Essence and all of that, and I don't know what that's going to look like. That's not really my bag, but from actually playing the game, I mean, yesterday I think I was like 2 points away from about 6 boxes in 6 different competitions that I was playing, which was really annoying, but I had still got 2 boxes, and I was still excited to open the boxes. And I got Essence. I put it up and I was like, oh my God, look at my luck, or whatever it was as a tweet. And it was just nothing. It was just Essence, right?
We absolutely fell for that, didn't we, Mark?
We did.
We absolutely fell like a sinker.
Add me to the list.
But you still, I know, I was still excited come 7 p.m. my time to open up the boxes. You're playing for something. And yeah, it's not as good or not as stable, I suppose, as your $50 coming in week and week out, but it's not like they've totally just done away with it. You've still got something there, and I think it's been a great addition to the game. I do.
Yeah,
I think, and as alluded to in the Sorare Data show 2 days ago, with I think his name was Chris, a new guy you had on.
Yeah, yesterday.
It came across really well, actually. I think the title was it reality versus perception, something along those lines.
Perception
and
reality.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah, and the perception piece is very, very important when you think about it. You know, if you are knocking on tier 4s and tier 5s every single week, you still get that bit of excitement on a Tuesday or a Friday of that card. Who's it going to be? Is it going to be someone that is good that just isn't playing at the moment? And when they do land and you've never heard of them, it's that bit of researching them, see what they're doing. Are they playing? Are they not playing? Could they play in the next couple of game weeks? Can I squeeze them into this midweek lineup to make if there was a cap on at the time, the caps go down? Because I think a lot of those people are just now getting Essence, 3 Essence, 3 Essence, 3 Essence. It takes 3 or 4 weeks for people to build up enough essence to be able to craft a T5 plus. And then when they do get a T5 plus and they do get a T5, it's like, I could have had one of those in 1 week before, and now I've waited 4 weeks to only craft a T5.
Yeah.
So, I mean, so it's definitely the perception piece is very, very important, I think. And I think Sorare could do more to make that more fun. I wonder whether, and it probably won't make a difference at all, whether they change all rewards to a box theme. So even if you're winning a tier 0 card and 500 quid or whatever it is for finishing first, you win a cash box and a card box, so you get the same sort of thing. So when you do win a box, it feels like the same as winning a cash reward or a card reward, even though it's probably only going to be essence or a level up. You've got that same sort of user experience as people that have a long lineup of card, cash, and then 4,000 boxes.
And you can even hide stuff in those boxes, and it could be that you've won a star box, guaranteed a star limited, and something else pops up like they did with the essence when you bought cards. Also, here's what else you've got, and it's like, here's your star limited. Oh, and there's also 20 essence hiding behind there, and so just a bit of an added addition rather than it just, here is your card, crack on.
It's a great idea.
Mm-hmm.
What I never really put together until now is that essence and the whole box part of rewards was basically not necessarily hinted at us years ago, but like Sorare had announced this idea back when there was like talk of the progress bar, whenever that was going to happen. But they also I'm almost certain they announced this, that they were going to start like randomly rewarding people cards who didn't finish in the card rewards. And it was like, if you finish 500, like, hey, you might get a card. It's literally what we have right now. Like essence is like, if you happen to finish literally half in an in-season competition or the 25th percentile, you are the last person to win. You could hit 20 essence and that's a card. And like normally top 25% wasn't getting a card, even in like before all of this. Like I think people are misremembering how many people were actually winning rewards like a year ago. Like scores are lower because like the game is different now, but it's not like half of us were winning cards in every competition every week. Like it's been hard for a while.
It took me months to win my first card. Like, and this in the early stages of the game, because I was just buying, what I was aiming was obviously threshold. Yep. So you were happy to hit your $25 when you hit 205 points. But I didn't actually win a card for like, if not a year, where I actually hit a rare reward. And I was like, oh my God, I've won like a tier 5 or whatever it was at the time rare. And it was worth like 15 quid and I was absolutely buzzing. And it's like, it was just as difficult to win before as it is now. There's just more entries, which makes it look harder to win. It's probably very similar percentage-wise still. But if you've got 10,000 entries compared to your 1,000 entries before, you thought you had more of a chance, but percentage-wise, you still got the same chance at winning something then as you did now. If not more of a chance. Especially if you look at the in-season
and the captain
percentages at the moment. In-season at the moment is crazy. Some people are winning like cash on in-season with such low scores. And then your classic side are complaining because they got a tier 4 with 480 points and they're getting cash for 380 points. It's a lot of it now is about putting time in to see where's the best to put your team. Whereas before it used to be all-star, threshold or cap threshold, and that was it. That's all you kind of did. Now finding the right entry point for your team can be more important than the score you get itself.
And I think, there's been a lot going around the community, isn't there, around the kind of the higher scores in classic and stuff, but there's 50% captain bonus as well. Somebody hits 100, that's a big injection of points on top of what it was before anyway. I mean, when I was playing rare probably 18 months ago, 2 years ago, the kind of 400s got you a decent reward. I think I podiumed like 2 or 3 times with like 420, I think it was. And now people would just sort of maybe snigger at that because you need to get to the 480s and the 490s, the 500s, etc. But again, you whack on another 50 points to the captain, you're getting closer to there anyway. The XP is naturally going to go up. People are now collecting more because they realize that's going to give them the edge to get obviously more points and that they have to do that. And they're going after and buying the best players out there. You know, a Kai Wagner now, who's the best player in the MLS, who's regularly scoring the 70s and well capable of getting the hundreds. People can afford them, so he's out there more times in those lineups. So of course your score's going to increase, but it's only going to get more difficult for the amount of players that are playing it and how accessible these cards are going to be. So, and I think also just going back to the kind of rewards, when I first started getting rare rewards, and it was the tier 3s, I think that was the bottom one then, wasn't it? It was tier 3s. There was no 4s or 5s. But they were still worth a lot of money. I remember getting a tier 3 that was something like 210, 220 pounds. And so you are naturally buzzing for that. Now, you obviously, if you get a tier 5 and it's worth literally 90 pence, you're just dismissive and thinking, oh, well, we're all to shit then. I'm not getting anything. But, you know, backtrack a year ago, 2 years ago, it was a totally different thing. You was buzzing because of the value of things. So I think the value affects people's mind a little bit as well with the rewards they're getting. They want more rewards, but they want to get them for less high scores or lower scores. Doesn't make sense.
When did they announce Classic and in season? Was it March?
Somewhere around there, yeah.
So it's only 6 months ago. It's like 6 months in Sorare feels like 5 years in other games, platforms, whatever. But I think when they made the announcement, they almost painted it as you play in season to win cash. You play Classic to win in season, so you can play in season to win cash. So everyone's thinking, oh, great, I've got all these cards I can play. I'm going to win in season cards, and then I'm going to be rolling in the cash. Probably thinking in their heads, you know, oh, when the season starts in August, I can play my Classics, and by October, I'll probably be playing in season with the guys I've won, you know, August, September, early October. People quickly realizing that if you just play Classic in order to win in season and don't buy any in season, you're probably not going to get a full team. Certainly in like the Prem and, you know, the Bundesliga and stuff, you're not going to get a full team until like March.
Yeah.
And then you got 2 months left of the season to play in season.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think one of the...
Well, I feel
it's a buy or die
go ahead.
scenario, isn't it, really?
I was going to say, like, I feel like
I was exactly in that scenario when I said at the beginning. I was of that mindset that I've got good enough Classic cards now, and because I've focused on the MLS for a long period of time, Carlos Hills, Messi, Wagner, Andre Blake, Stefan Fry, Yeimar, I don't know, whoever else the big Acosta, Evander, I've got all of those. And I was thinking, well, surely I'm going to kind of win every other week or potentially even every week with those cards with that high XP to get the in-season, and all of a sudden I'll be playing in-season quicker, or I'll be selling them and sort of recouping and analysing where I was. But I've obviously quickly realised that is definitely not the case. And the win ratio is what it was before, really. You have to wait, you have to play the game smart, and you're not going to win every week unless you've got this massive gallery with every big player and you're just churning it out, you know?
I think the one thing that threw a lot of people off, and I don't think Sorare realized how huge of a difference it was, is when we were kind of in the belief of just what you said, Mark, like play Classic to win new cards to win cash. Mm-hmm. And then they introduced Essence, and they were like, yeah, win Essence in Classic, craft cards to play in season. And when they moved to introduce Essence to in season, everyone who bought Classic cards to win in season cards looked and they were like, why would I want to finish in the top 25% where there's so many more cards available to play as opposed to just the top 50%? Like, I think a lot of people would have focused on in season had that been announced earlier. And I think that is part of what's like, that stems a lot of the like resentment that a lot of the community has, that there was this very clear like reason to play Classic. And now everybody's looking at in season. They're like, clearly that's where we should have gone, but you told us too late. Like, I feel
and and they seem to be focusing on in-season more on special weeklies and your events and stuff like that than they do the Classic, which is then forcing people's hand to buy more in-season. So it's like don't get me wrong, I understand why they do it. They've got a business to run. They need to sell in-season cards, or this slowly will just go out of business. But forcing people's hand will also turn away people that were probably going to put money into it anyway.
Sure.
And I think you just need to find that balance of, this is Classic, we will focus on Classic. This is in-season, we will focus on in-season. But we need to they need to be two separate things. I think every special weekly should have a Classic and a in-season. Every special event should have both. I don't see why you'd only do one and not the other, if you're not going to start secluding a certain region, which seems to be Classic. Just don't make sense.
I did want to briefly touch on the whole like points to win thing, because I feel like a big deal is always made when they're really high and it's totally ignored when it's low. And like, I just look back. So game week 502 was like the first one of the new, so like all the Champ Europe leagues were back. And like to win Champ D1 in rare, you needed 444 points. Like to win.
Yeah.
And like, that's not that high of a score. That's never been a high score really to like win a competition. No. So I think we just need to like appreciate that. Yes, they can go high sometimes, but sometimes you just need the right guys in the right week. Yeah.
Well, there was a guy we had on here from, it was a German one, Jakob, and he put a tweet out recently, because we had that week, didn't we, the other week, where Tottenham won like 6-0, Man City was 4-0 or something, and every single team that would have done well did well, and the top score was like 550 or something stupid. It was like one of my best ever weeks. I nearly broke 500 for like the first time, and I think I got a tier 4 or something stupid. And everyone was booting off online and saying, this is it now, game's dead. And then the midweek for that week, like one of the limited divisions was like 326 to get like a podium. Yeah. And he tweeted out being like, everyone's a bit quiet now because it's just a one-off thing. It happens every couple of months. We have one game week that goes absolutely astronomical in scores. Everyone boots off and says the game's dead, and the week later you don't talk about it because it's back to normal. And it's typical online thinking before they speaking before they think, and just try to moan about moaning's sake a lot of the time, which we're used to now. Everyone does it. Mainly Adam.
There'll be smashers every game week. If you've got those smashers, great. But that particular game that you're referring to, it's just everyone you expected to smashed. Yeah. And those are the most common cards. You know, I think, was it last week or the week before, Max Kilman got 100. Yeah. One person had Max Kilman, I believe, in Div 1 Prem. So, you know, this week just gone, for me personally...
PSV this weekend just gone that like absolutely killed it. Yeah. And just ruined every single challenger lineup because they decided to go and win.
But so the weekend just gone, I should have put my faith in my Liverpool team, but I didn't. I split them up because I wasn't expecting us to beat Man United 3-0 away. If I put my faith in them and put a stack in that, okay, I think there was a couple of midfielders that didn't score well as usual with Liverpool, but I tend to combine my Liverpool team with a Kevin De Bruyne or something, because our midfielders typically don't score that well. If I put my faith in the Liverpool team, might have done well.
The other thing is that PSV went nuts, and if you look at the like first place lineups, they don't have PSV players.
Yeah.
Like literally, you could beat them, and people beat them, and so like yes, like plenty of people won rewards with PSV cards. Like don't get me wrong,
yeah.
But like first, like Challenger Limited Division 1, the first like 2 teams have 0 PSV players. They also scored fucking 540 points. But have we talked about Sorare too much?
Probably for us, yeah. I'm getting a little.
Should we talk about Burnley?
Yeah, let's do it.
I literally couldn't say a single thing about them.
Have you not seen Sarah Canary's comment?
That's the only like. I now know that they played Blackburn this weekend.
Yeah,
that's
which is their local derby.
Right.
Their
I knew that,
game.
But now I'm out.
So, and
content.
I think one of the teams went down to 10 men, but the Blackburn equaliser was an absolute worldie of a goal. Like It was like unbelievable. Did one of them go down to 10? I can't actually remember now. I don't care about Burnley enough to keep that much attention to him. Yes, Blackburn had 10 men, and Burnley still couldn't beat them. What a shame, eh? That's that special word called karma for picking a Leeds player in the Sorare darts. Is that for me whilst I work there?
It was, as Harry says, Andreas Weimann of old Aston Villa and Bristol City fame, now at Blackburn.
I did not know that Scott Parker was the manager of Burnley. That's how closely I follow Burnley as well.
Why do you think
since they're out of the Premier League, they don't exist to me. Gone. Finished.
Yeah, I just can't think of a more backward step than taking Scott Parker on as your manager to try and get a bounce back to the Premier League. It's got to be the worst. It's like taking on Steve Bruce or Neil Warnock to try and get you back up into the Prem. It's just never going to happen. And the
Talking of Steve Bruce,
gutted.
Didn't Steve Bruce get a job? When he announced he's got a new job? Right? Blackpool.
Is it Blackpool?
Blackpool.
Yeah.
Didn't he go to like Jamaica or something?
No, that was
who is it that's gone like to be a really random like nation?
Steve McLaren.
I thought it was Steve McLaren. That's it. Yeah, he's gone to be like Jamaica manager. It's like what?
Out of nowhere. Mental.
Is that what it was? Jamaica? Oh, it is Jamaica.
Yeah. Like out of any country that needs a football manager, and you choose Steve McLaren going to Jamaica, unless he just loves getting high and thinks, you know what, this job's perfect for me. I'll just go out to Jamaica, coach a football team, and just enjoy the life out there.
Feels like a lot of sun for somebody like Steve McLaren.
I can imagine Sam Allardyce down there in his socks and sandals,
the Hawaiian
chewing his gum.
Yeah.
Best ever England manager.
Pina colada on the go.
Yeah.
Or like the Southern Comfort man in the gold Speedos walking across the beach.
But still eating fish and chips every single day.
I've now got the image of Sam Allardyce in a pair of Speedos. Thanks for that. Real nice.
So you're no longer feeling down?
Yeah, well, exactly.
It worked. There you go.
Let's go.
Just can't stand up for a few minutes thinking about
that. Not only did we spend the last 20 minutes talking about Sorare to get you down, Sam Allardyce in Speedos, and you turn right around, mate.
Do you know what? He'd probably look better than me in Speedos, the way I'm feeling at the moment. Jesus Christ. COVID up, got belly full of milkshake. Oh.
It doesn't sound so bad, actually. I bet a lot of people would ask for that some days.
Well, yeah.
Well, was there? I was wondering if we were speaking of football, and you're on about feeling good. We've got we brought some pieces with us this week, have we not?
Have indeed. So this was inspired by your delivery this week, wasn't it?
It was. I had a very, very special delivery this week from Sorare Monkey. So we've decided, because of that, we were going to bring a few pieces or a piece of sporting memorabilia that means something to us, whether it's team related or just football related. It doesn't matter. So I'll start us off, seeing as though we're talking about Sorare Monkey. This isn't what he sent me, but not everyone's seen this. This might be the first time it's been on the podcast, Mark. This is last season's Huddersfield Town shirt. It will be. With my favourite player, who's now in Japan, signed, you won't be able to read it from there, that says, Aaron, all the best on your wedding day, Yuta Nakayama, who was genuinely one of my favourite players, and he only played about 20 games for us because he was injured all the time. But reason being was that the group chat boys got me that as a wedding present. So that has a special place in my heart, that he's about to get framed and put in my new office at work. So that's going to be on the wall, which will piss a lot of people off because everyone at work's a Leeds fan. So they're going to have to look at a Huddersfield Town shirt hung up in the office every week. But the special delivery I got this week.
Oh, Meckelin. Nice.
Signed Meckelin shirt from the legend that is Sorare Monkey. Not only is he a legend because he didn't charge me for it, and I did offer to pay before everyone thinks I'm a tight bastard. He just knew that I was a big fan and had a full collection, so just said, "Don't worry about it. I'll send it you across." So that turned up, and that's also getting framed as well. So yeah, I'm absolutely buzzing with that.
I got a question about the Huddersfield one.
Go
how did they how did they get him to write all of that on it?
So I think Adam just got in touch with the club and said, "Look, we're going to buy a shirt. We're hoping that this player can sign it. Is there any chance?" And they just said, "Yeah, we'll do it."
Love that.
I think what you was implying there, though, Laird, was, did he really sign it?
Yeah.
No. I absolutely not. But now that you've said it, that's all I'll think about. There's
Don't ruin my day like that.
It's amazing what you can do with a shirt and a Sharpie.
Afterwards, they went down, and it's a very personal message. And I didn't know that just emailing the club would be enough.
Also, as I believe that Yuta is now smashing it in Japan, isn't he?
Not only smashing it, they've conceded like 1 goal since he got there. He started every game for them, and I think they're unbeaten in the last 3. I think it is. He's also only worth about £15 for some reason in rare. Which, if you do a contender rare team, I'd be telling you to pick him up straight away because he was class. I'm telling you, without injuries, I honestly, not just because I love the man, but he was genuinely a really, really good footballer. Like, talented centre/fullback. He was so good on the ball. For someone who wasn't tall either, he's one of those like 5'10", 5'11" centre halves, but just won everything. Real proper give it his all type player, and he just got too many injuries at Huddersfield, which kind of let him down. But yeah, he's an absolute baller. He's had a 82, 64, and a 60 since going back to Japan. So he's doing well, and I think he's going with the internationals. I think he starts for Japan now as well. So with the international week coming up, there's a little cheap defender pick for anyone that needs one.
Let's go.
Nice.
What else you brought then, boys? Who's next?
I have stories with mine, and I feel bad because this piece of memorabilia I have is not the fun story, but I'll tell it anyway. But it's actually this shoe right behind me. You can ignore the baseball. I caught this during a game at Yankee Stadium, in the old Yankee Stadium. This isn't the piece. Maybe this should have been it. But it has like a logo showing like that it was from the last game. Not the last game, last season. But anyway, this sneaker is autographed by, I don't know if he's in the Hall of Fame. Now I feel bad as I'm about to call him NBA Hall of Famer. He's probably not. Might be in China. But it's Stephon Marbury, who grew up in New York City, went to the same high school as my mom, as weird as that sounds. She was not much of a basketball player. But he grew up in New York, went to high school in New York, and was always like a New York basketball legend. And he played for a number of NBA teams, but eventually signed with the Knicks, his like hometown team. And when he did that, around the same time, he started a shoe company that wanted to sell low-cost sneakers because basketball sneakers were getting so expensive and most kids just couldn't afford them. So these are the Starberries. That was his nickname. And you could buy these for $20. And he sold them through a store that no longer exists, probably because they were trying to sell $20 sneakers, called, I think it was Steve & Barry's. And one day I was walking by this store and he was there signing autographs. And that's just kind of a thing that they do. Like athletes show up at stores and they'll sign a little bit. And I remember seeing the sign that he was there. It was in this like mall basically in New York. And I walked right by it and I was like, oh, that's cool. And I took like another 10 steps and I was like, why am I not going in there? Like, let's see. And I realized I had nothing for him to actually sign. And then remembered that his sneakers are $20. So I bought a pair of sneakers and had him sign them. And if you look, it kind of looks like he wrote sex on it. Like, yeah, kind of.
Yeah.
But his name is Stephon. He was absolutely miserable because I walked in and there was nobody waiting to like get his autograph. Like I walked into the store, bought the sneakers, and I was the only person there. So he probably wasn't in like a great mood, but I loved him as a player. And he signed this one and another one, which I gave my brother. I told him I thought it was great what he was doing with the sneakers, like the low, affordable sneakers for kids, and he literally just grunted at me. Like it was just like he just wanted no part of it anymore. But I love this, and so that's my contribution today.
That's pretty cool.
Yes. I thought you was going to say when you went in there and you had nothing for him to sign. I thought you was going to say, so I ripped his shoes off him, and I said, sign your own shoes and give it to me.
So I'd like to correct myself. They were $15 because I still have the receipt.
Wow.
No.
Which I jammed into the shoe.
Was the $5 the service charge that you had to pay?
Maybe. It's a grunting charge.
Yeah.
So for me, I've never really been one for memorabilia and stuff. I think that there is what I've brought, which is kind of a new addition to my office at home. And Andy Black actually sorted me out with that. So we were doing some bits and pieces. Andy messaged me, knew that I was obviously a Spurs fan. I think that's just when Andy started watching some of my streams that I've done, and obviously got to know that I was a Spurs fan. And then he just hooked me up. So that's from him. That's from Sorare as well. So it's signed obviously from last year. I have no idea apart from the one in the middle where my finger is. I think that's Emerson Royale because it's ER12, obviously. That was his number. Apart from that, I have no idea who else.
I love it.
It's horrific, isn't it? It's awful. They could have got anyone to do it.
Scribble on a shirt. No idea.
Do you want to see the worst one on here, by the way? See if I can get this to show. What on earth is that?
That just looks like a shit stain. Someone's wiped their ass with that.
That is not a signature. That is someone who's gone, oh, piss off. I'm so bored of this here. I just scribbled on it and passed it on to the next person. Yeah. There's a few numbers on here. That's the only ones I know.
Yeah, the other thing that I was going to bring, which I totally forgot, was I think I've said before that I used to play a little bit when I was younger and stuff. And I won a cap for, not for England, actually, although I played England schoolboys when I was younger, but I won a cap for my county. So you had to play for your county, I think it was 20 times. And literally it's like the old schoolboy caps that obviously they get today. So that's cool, but that's in a drawer in my bedroom. I forgot to bring it. So that's a piece of, like, for me, if you know what I mean, from a sports memorabilia for me. But apart from that, from a professional kind of other sport or anything like that, that is literally the only thing that I own that's worth showing, and it's in shop, so I didn't even have to get it down. Lazy.
So I've got a little like an ottoman thing upstairs, and it's just got full of my old football programs that I've collected and old shirts and all that sort of stuff. But I brought a few random bits. I've got a few. I'll just rattle through them. But because Sorare is a game, I thought this was pretty cool, and I saw it there on the top. But it's the first ever, or FIFA Road to World Cup '98 game. That was the original game I had when I was 9 years old that I used to play. Still got the disc and the manual and everything in it. It's pretty cool. I'll never get rid of that.
That had the loading screen, right? That looked like David Ginola sort of thing.
Yeah.
It wasn't. Yeah, I remember that. That was one of the first games that I bought as well.
There you go. And you could play that. You could play indoor football mode, if you remember that.
Yeah.
I think I just broke in the case.
Memorabilia no more.
I've got a signed photo that says "To Marc, best wishes from Alan Kennedy," who's a Liverpool Champions League winner from back in the day. My dad went to an event and met him there and got me that. This next one is a signed photo. It's a very old signed photo. I think it's from about 98, 99. But it's a signed photo from our old England manager, Gareth Southgate. Which says "To Marc, all the best, Gareth Southgate." So the story behind that one is where I grew up, across the road from us was an old lady, probably in her 80s or something. And she's a neighbour of ours. Like, my parents used to look after her a bit. My dad did a bit of work on her house because he's a builder. And she mentioned to him that her son was Gareth Southgate's best mate and was the best man at his wedding. And so she asked him to, when she next saw him, to do that for me. But
do you know if he was just as boring as Gareth Southgate was?
I never met him, but I would imagine so. Do you remember Michael Owen's Soccer Skills, the old TV show?
Yeah. Have
Which
you
was
watched that
about-
back since?
which was about
brutal.
which was about 90 minutes of a professional footballer, Michael Owen, just been to a World Cup, pelting shots at a skinny ginger kid in goal. And I've still got it on VHS.
Oh my god! Do you know,
Is that where that clip comes from? Where they're like, "Oh, he's 14, well done."
Yeah, that's it. That's
yeah.
But my favourite one, and about a year ago, actually, I think I did message YNWA and said, "Do you want to swap this for a unique?" Because it's actually worth quite a bit of money nowadays. But Robbie Fowler was my first football hero. As a Liverpool fan, I used to play out front, left-footed. I used to watch it over and over again. So my parents bought me, I think this is from 1998, Fowler's Hot 100 VHS, still in there. And do you know what? That's on Amazon for 380 quid to buy now.
What?
Well, you should sell that and then start a collection of Real Madrid immediately.
Real Madrid Super Rares.
Yeah. Wow.
So if YNWA wants to swap that for a, I don't know, rare Liverpool collection, I'm all ears.
Do you
I
have
can't
something...
believe you've got that Michael Owen video. Honestly, that is if you type in YouTube and go and watch that, he's disgusting behavior towards these kids. Literally just pelting balls at their face and just going, "Oh, you ain't got no chance of that. Should have saved that. Oh, did that hurt?" Or things like that. Honestly, I can't believe
he's literally celebrating every goal, and he gets it. Yeah. It's like he's 13, this skinny ginger lad's 13, no chance in goal.
I'm actually looking online now, Mark. You can't buy it anywhere other than the Amazon one.
The Robbie Fowler
it doesn't
one.
even. Yeah, it doesn't come up anywhere to be able to buy it other than one Amazon link.
I'll tell you where you can buy it.
Should we buy the Amazon one and then raise the floor?
Yeah, it's a good idea.
That's a man who plays so rare. There we go.
Well, if Mark
Talking
buys
about
it,
living next
he
door.
completely owns the market.
Yeah.
So it can,
Talking about
can't be many
living
more
next
than two
door
out there.
When you said that, what was it? Gareth Southgate's best mate or something lived there.
Yeah.
I've got no proof of this other than obviously family members telling me this, but my nan lived next door to Sir Alf Ramsey, which was quite cool. So she used to walk his dogs and things like that. Obviously not when he fucking won the World Cup and all of that sort of stuff, but growing up and things, she used to walk the dogs for his mum and things like that. So that's quite cool.
I love that you prefaced it that you can't prove it, as if the three of us were going to be like, I don't think that's right.
Nah, that bollocks is that. I don't believe a word you said.
Yeah. And here comes my nan.
Yeah.
I think I need it from him. Even if your nan turned up now, I won't believe it.
Yeah.
No, I like that. That's quite good. That might have to make that a regular thing, Mark, because there'll become some interesting stuff come up then when people come on.
Yeah, I mean, we'd run out of memorabilia pretty quickly, wouldn't we? But we can get other people to it.
With loads of fake shirts off DHgate, I'll just make up a story behind it and see who believes me.
I told you, mate. All you need is a shirt and a Sharpie.
Oh, that's a good point. I just write EC7 on the front of my Rayo Vallecano one, and I'll just pretend it's like my favourite thing that I've ever owned in my life, and just be like, "Oh yeah, it's signed by the legend himself." And that's before I get my collection signed shirt sent out by Sorare when they decide to do the collection events again, seeing as I've been top of that leaderboard for God knows how long. And they just haven't, they seem to neglect that as well now. No one seems to get anything for being the top of the collections.
They've already robbed me of my trip to Rodez by not carrying on the license with Rodez.
Oh,
yeah.
Wasn't the club going to bring you, though?
Something like that.
Yeah, you don't need Sorare anymore.
No, that's true. That's true.
You just had to pay for flights, tickets, and accommodation, and then Rodez were going to do the rest.
Yeah, that's true. They were going to give me the match ticket, I think. Yeah.
Just one.
You've probably got to go on your own as well.
Yeah.
That squad has been
Then
decimated.
just promote Ultimate Champions while you're there.
That Rodez squad has been decimated more than Burnley.
Yeah. Every time I see a tweet, it's you talking about a Rodez player that's left.
Big man Danger is gone.
No,
Red
not
Star.
Donger.
Red Star. A French
Not Big
team
Donger.
that I did not know there was a French team called Red Star until this season.
So to add to the list of like absurdly obscure things that you learn because of Sorare, I knew Red Star existed because there is I think he's 21 or 22 now, goalkeeper there named Pepe Bonnet, who is part of the 2021-22 Ren collection that I have. And he has not played a single game in like 3 or 4 years. He's the backup at Red Star, was all last season as well. And I've been trying to get his card, and it's amazing what people who have those cards think they're worth. I'll put it that way.
Yeah.
But he has no
If
chance of
if they're not listed, if they're not listed, they're worth a fortune.
Well, that's the best
that's
part,
kind
is
of
that they're listed for a fortune.
And,
like nobody's buying it. But then I saw that they got promoted, and I was like, oh, maybe. And then I saw that Bradley Danger is there, and I was like, oh, how about that?
Still scoring well.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I was going to say, I just pulled him up. Jesus. He's got an L5 of L15, sorry, of 71.
It's a weird move to move within the league to a newly promoted team.
Yeah, seems strange. Don't like it. Doesn't feel good.
Mm-mm.
One of their guys, Hauntonje, signed for Burnley, actually. Funnily enough. Yeah. And then Serge Philippe Rouillot, double barrow name. He signed for Rapid Vienna. And who else? Giovanni Hag has also left, who was their other best scorer. Oh, and Killian Corridor.
I was just about to bring him up.
He's gone to Darmstadt.
I'm telling you now, there's not a single person in this world other than Rodez fans and yourself that could list the transfers that have left Rodez this season. Like, there's even another Sorare player is not that deep on Rodez like you are.
And I only recognize 2 of those names because of this show, not because I'm doing my own research on Rodez.
Because I'll never forget the corridor pronunciation.
So I do this weird thing where I will look at the secondary market on Sorare data just for jersey mints. And I think somebody was selling his jersey mint recently. I don't even remember what scarcity it was, but I saw it and I was like, I know that guy.
Yeah.
Kept scrolling though. Didn't buy it.
Well, Marcos, should we play a little game?
Let's do it.
So this is the stage where normally we would have 2 Tenables, and one of us would host and do the guest versus one, and then the guest versus another. Because Adam is still swanning around the United States, we've decided to do one each. So, Parrot, you'll go against Mark, and then... Is that right? Yeah, and then Laird against me, or other way around, whichever way suits. Now, I've gone for a bit of a rogue one, which could flop a little bit if you have absolutely no idea. But it's too late. It's what I've gone with. So, who wants to go against Mark, and who wants to go against me? Bearing in mind, I think I've won 1 so far since we started the podcast.
Your choice, Laird.
Do we get any hint of what they are about?
Mine is football club related. That's the best you're going to get.
Okay.
I'll take the other one if Parrot's okay with that.
Go for it.
I think you picked the right one there, because the top 10 list is from your very own website that I've got.
Ooh. All right.
So,
how well do you know your own website?
Ever since you guys started doing Tenable, every time I listen to it, I think of like ones that I would do. And I was trying to think of ones that would like just piss Adam off the most. Not like just like the I found this random website that interviewed 12 random people and what they thought, and just have him go nuts on like how angry just to get him fired up. But anyway.
So I'll do mine first then, Mark.
Sure.
So
should we encourage people in the chat to play along if you know the answers, and we'll close the chat whilst we're playing it?
Yeah.
So I'll leave it up for me while I'm doing this, so I can see if people are right or wrong, and then I'll close it when you start doing yours. Right. So this is based off a website called Football Database on the Club World Ranking section. We're going to a subsection of Europe. Then we're going to another subsection of Belgium. Because of this. This isn't about who's top of the league and who's won last week. This is based on the Club World Ranking, the top 10 teams in Belgium. Now, I don't know how they work the points out. I don't know how they figure out who's higher than others, unless it's based on maybe previous seasons and where you finish lowers and highers. The only thing I will say is the first place is on 1,664 points, and 10th is on 1,425. Now, what those points means is your guess is as good as mine, but it's the top 10 Belgium teams at the moment.
All right.
Okay.
So who wants to go first? In fact, should we just let both? We'll let the guests go first and guest host go first on this one, on both. So you can go second. So Bruges is number one. So number one off the bat.
Anderlecht.
Number 3.
Genk.
Which one? Sorry.
Genk.
Brent is number 4.
The other one.
Yeah.
I'm not sure whether you said Genk or Ghent, so I'll say
I'm pretty
the
sure
Yeah.
And
Well, they're both on there, so it's fine. Don't worry.
So back to me. I will go with USG, Union, whatever it is, something.
USG a second.
Hmm.
So you've got the top 5.
I've followed them for a long time.
Yeah.
I'm going to say Antwerp.
You've now got the top 6.
Ooh,
Now it gets tricky.
Yeah.
Now we find out there are more than 6 clubs in Belgium.
I'm wondering if
that one's risky.
You get 2 lives each.
Oh, all right. I'll go Circle Bruges.
You've now got the top 7.
I mean, I'm going to have to say Mechelen. They finished up there last season, didn't they? So, but I think they're quite a small club, but I'll say Mechelen.
You've now got the top 8.
I don't think he would have done this if they were not
a chance.
Yeah.
If they were not in the top 10, I'd have swiped off this quicker than anything I've ever done before.
Top 10 songs of 1973. Yeah.
So you need 9 and 10.
All right. All right. I've got one, but I don't know if that's going to be right. It's the only one I can think of. Who did the goalkeeper Kofi used to play for? Shah Leon or something. I don't know how to. I don't know how to pronounce it. It's not that I don't know it.
I'm going to give you that because it's Charleroi.
Shallow, yeah.
And you've now got the top 9.
Yeah.
So you have number 10 left, which means, Mark, you've got it, or you've technically lost.
I've run out of Belgian clubs, let alone the top Belgian clubs.
It's a bummer that Morioka was not the one that you thought of when you thought of Charleroi.
Yeah.
Someone's just put one in the chat and put this one Shirley, and they are wrong. It's 14th is the one you've just said.
Now, the one I want to say have just been relegated. So
There's gonna be that, like, if that, what is it, is QNT or QTN on Twitter that does all the Belgium stuff. He's gonna see this and be like, that list is absolutely atrocious. I literally, it was the first link that came up when I searched it, and I was like, right, that'll do. That's found my list.
That's my favorite thing about Tenable, really.
The arguments we have post Tenable.
Yeah, it's like, here's a list of 10. Get it right.
I'm just going to go with my love for Steph Peters and say Kaz Eupen.
Kaz Eupen. Now, as you can probably tell from my reaction,
the love I did have for Steph Peters.
They are 27th.
Okay.
It's pretty good for a 16-team league.
They were relegated, weren't they, last season?
It goes down to 29 on the list. Someone has just got it right in the chat as well.
Is it? I think they did get relegated. Core track or something. Going to be K.
That is a team.
As you can. Oh no, they're 25th.
Yeah, they are.
So you get another chance, Mark.
I don't fucking know.
There's teams you've not said which are in the league now and actually decent teams as well.
Yeah, I know. I just under pressure, isn't it? I don't know if that. I don't know if I think they're Jupiler. I'm going to say, is it STVV St. Truden?
St. Truden are 11th.
I was going to say they've got to be up there.
So that's technically game. But
what about,
any ideas?
What about Standard Liège? Is it?
Oh, of course.
See, I thought they would be there, but they're 14th.
Ah.
Number 10 is Leuven. That Ode have a Luden or whatever the bloody call.
I had them in my back. I was thinking of them, but I thought there's no way.
Nah, I didn't.
I had a stack of that. I had the defender Ricker.
Yeah.
Who went
Federico Rica.
I had his super rare for a little while. And then the midfielder that begins with M, I'm sure it does. I had him. And then Taremi, who went and played, now playing in Ligue 1, I think.
Yeah. So
good effort, though.
We are losing again, Mark, as we normally seem to do at the moment.
So who got it right in the chat?
It was. I'll scroll back up. Who said OHL?
Rica Man.
There we go. So I'll hide that because I will 100% cheat on purpose if I keep that chat open. So I will hide it.
Right. Okay. So
it'd be the Nicholas as a followers all over again.
Not quite. So I've got my iPad to the right here, so that's why I keep looking to the left. What I would like to know is what are currently the top 10 ranked champion defenders on Sorare, according to the current Sorare data player rankings, listed in order of their 3-day average rare card price.
Jesus Christ, Mark!
So who are the three? Who are the top 10 most expensive champion defenders?
Okay,
is an easier way of saying it.
Based on the one region I do not play is champion. So
based on the rare 3-day average.
I played with the Ren collection that was created 5 years ago, and I don't win anything. So, and I can assure you, none of those guys are on this list.
Yeah, I'll give you a clue. Team, and that's it.
I'll give you a clue. Hoodwink just said Harry Maguire, and he is not on the list.
Well, unless Florian Lejeune's on the list, I don't know any other defenders pretty much because that's my only Ray Vallecano knowledge. Right, I'll let you go first, Laird, seeing as though it's probably going to be a quick round. This.
It was Champ, you said?
Champ.
I
was going to go Prem, but I thought it'd be too easy.
Champ might actually be easier for me.
I don't even think I could list 10 valuable Premier League defenders.
One is from Madrid. Eder Militao.
So Eder Militao is 5th on the list.
Oh, I'm going to really struggle at this. I'm trying to think of just your big boy teams that win every week, like Bayern and things like that. But I feel like Bayern defenders don't do that well. As in, they do score well, but I don't think they're actually as expensive as you'd think.
What do you mean, Eric Dyer? Thousands.
Wait, if you can look this up, since I can't. What's the most that an Eric Dyer card ever sold for?
Let's have a look.
And is the person still alive now that paid for it?
When Eric Dyer first come to Spurs, well, he got in the England squad. He was superb, and then just I don't know what happened.
I'll always have major respect for that tackle on Sergio Ramos.
Oh, beautiful.
So
I'm
I was
just
like,
gonna
you
have to start
I think
throwing
you've
a name
stalled
out.
enough as. So.
Yeah, I'm going to start throwing a name out here. I'm starting to go Prem again and just thinking who's like Man City's highest value one. And I'm thinking this could be a really bad shout, but I'm going to go Gvardiol.
So Josko Gvardiol is 3rd on the list. His that's actually 7-day average, but his average is 328 quid in rare.
Wow, and that's 3rd most valuable now. Wow, I wish I could look back in time and save my money. Yeah, I bet he is.
Surely, right? That's
Yeah,
why.
he is, yeah, he's 22 years old.
Just going back to Eric Dyer. So Eric Dyer's highest paid super rare was £392, and his rare was £120.
That's not too bad, actually. I was expecting like a Nepenthes level purchase, one of them that's just at the top of the peak like this. Yeah.
Fun fact, I literally was looking at a price chart today because somebody said something outlandish on Twitter and I had to fact check it because I'm a loser. And Nepenthes was the highest dot on that player's price graph.
It wasn't that Lewandowski one, was it?
No, amazingly not. If anybody's curious, it was the 1-year price graph of Marquinhos. I'm going to go with Trent. Surely he's up there.
Numero uno.
That was my next guess.
£486.
Oh, that's a
3-day average.
That's frustrating. Now, I might be really, really bad at reading people, but when you said Marquinhos, Mark's mouth went a little twitch, makes me think that you've just said one that might have been on the top 10 list and not realised. So I'm going to say it now anyway, just in case. So I'm going to go Marquinhos.
It's Marquinhos, the fact that I'm having to scroll down on my iPad here. Quite far, still going. He's not on there.
Bad at poker. Yeah, this is why I'm really shit at poker.
He was just reacting to the milkshake from earlier, just got a bit of sick coming out.
I knew Marquinhos wasn't on the list because the tweet in question that I had to follow up on was saying that somebody bought his rare for $22 today.
Wow.
Maybe it was euros, as if that makes it significantly better.
Yeah, so that was just a psychological play you've done there. Want to put a name in Aaron's head, and then he'll say that, and it gets rid of a life, and got a chance at winning it.
I'm gonna piggyback off that though, and think that it was a teammate of Marquinhos, and I'm gonna go with Hakimi.
Yeah, that's exactly what I was just thinking.
So Hakimi is number 6.
Get it.
288.
I would never pay that.
Right, the only one I can think of right now that I think's got a chance being at a top team in that region is a Bayern defender, but I don't think he's worth that much. So this could be me gone already, and I'm just going to say Upamecano.
So Upamecano is 8th on the list. £208 for his rare.
Wow. I've got one in mind, but I don't know if it's a bit outrageous. But
I saw an Alphonso Davies limited for $6 today, and I was just like, man, that's
Wow.
Again, didn't buy it. Van Dijk.
Virgil van Dijk is surprisingly cheap.
Fuck.
And he's not on the list.
So what you're saying is, if I get one now, this could be tense.
So Van Dijk is 17th on the list, and you can pick up his average rare price is £117.
So what I'm thinking is that I looked recently at a new Prem defender in Romero from Spurs, and he scores unbelievable. And he was about, I think if I was right, his limited was like 30 to 40 quid nearly at the time. So if we're going off the multiple rate of 10s, and obviously you drop a little bit, I think he's probably 200 plus. So I'm going to go Romero.
So Christian Romero is number 2 on the list.
Yeah. I was going to say,
360 quid.
he scores outrageous.
He's so good.
No matter whether Spurs concede 3 or 4, he's just always up there, even international, isn't he? He's a machine.
Because I picked up last season at the end of it, I picked up Van der Ven thinking I want a Spurs defender, and now I really regret picking him up instead of Romero.
Would you rather have 3 Virgil van Dijks or 1 Christian Romero?
1 Christian Romero.
What are we talking? So rare. The way you worded that. Romero. Yeah.
Yeah, Romero.
3 Van Dijks would be a sore night, wouldn't it?
Sam Allardyce in Speedos and 3 Van Dijks. It sounds like a great film, doesn't it? I think I've clicked on that category before. So you've got to get this one right then.
Yeah.
Is that what we're saying? Oh, cool. No pressure.
I pretty much need to just like eliminate. Like, surely there's nobody. I'm not gonna give you any hints. Hold on.
By the way, if you get one, I haven't even thought of the next one yet because I just can't think straight at all now. So I've got no idea.
You've just got 3 Van Dijks pictured in your head lining up. Wait.
In Speedos.
It certainly does not help the thought process.
I can't wait for the title of this one. 3 Van Dijks and Allardyce in Speedos. It's got to be titled that, Mark. It's got to be.
Jesus.
Oh, Schlotterbeck.
Oh, no.
Surely.
Oh, no.
Surely.
Big Nico, 4th on the list.
Oh, shit.
326.
Right.
The card I just
Talk
never
about-
was like remotely close to being able to get.
Talk about men in Speedos for a minute. I need to think.
So actually, you've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So there's 3 to go.
It's a pretty good showing, as.
Yeah, you got to get
Yeah.
7th, 9th, and 10th. And I'll be honest, I'll be surprised if you get any of them.
So would I, mate.
Great.
They're well-known players.
There's going to be someone in like France or Italy that have got like that's like one of those tops. Theo Hernandez. It just popped into my head. I'm just throwing it straight at you. That was really instinctive.
Theo or Teo?
Both.
So Hernandez is not on the list.
Fuck.
I've
Thought
actually
that was
scrolled-
like.
I scrolled down quite. Okay, he's 39th on the list.
Really?
Wow, he's plummeted. He used to be really expensive.
His 3-day average for a rare card is £69.
What? Well, that's a
Limited
2-0
16.
2-0 loss again, Mark.
Okay, so we lost. We need to
I
up our
reckon
game.
I think there's 2 big names that has not been said yet, though. But then to your
Yeah.
reaction by saying you'd be surprised if people get them.
Yeah, I was going to say that the next one I had was Grimaldo.
Yeah, surely.
Oh,
So Grimaldo is 12th on the list.
wow.
So the three you
And
didn't
then
get in
Koundé?
seventh is Danny
Koundé.
Carvajal.
Why is he
Come
so
on.
expensive?
No, but why are people, and we wonder why people are bad at this game.
The ninth
Is this?
is 17-year-old Pau Kubasi.
It's probably not that many cards of them. That's why.
200.
Yeah.
And 10th is Federico DiMarco.
Oh, the
Probably hasn't had
Italian.
new cards.
Inter Milan player, yeah.
So yeah. Again, it might be because there's less cards, but
Yeah.
Yeah, if I remember, he takes all their sets and things like that. I'm sure he does.
Yeah,
When they
yeah.
play Rivals, when they, yeah,
I was going to say, I just knew it from Rivals. Yeah.
yeah.
So
Anyway.
you're telling me Carvajal's that high up, and his highest score in the last 6 months is 84? Which morons are paying for him?
I did have him on my
recently?
watch
Like,
list.
does Spain have like 2 incredible matchups, and he was really 100, and now that's crazy.
I mean,
anyway.
his floor price at the moment for his classic is £45. So I think it's his inflated in season that's dragging him up quite a lot. Wow, yeah. Some people. Who's paying £200 for an in season when his floor's 45 on his classic? No wonder Sorare are rich. Just
6 days ago, £273 an instant buy. Whoa.
yeah, people have got more money than sense.
273, and the floor is 45 for the classic.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's crazy. It's crazy.
We're back.
And then we complain about the game, and you've got people making decisions like that.
To be fair,
My value is 50%. Well, yeah, it's because you're pissing your money onto cards like that you don't need to.
to be fair, as Kev says, it's the in-season Madrid guys, isn't it? Wasn't the La Liga competition like ridiculously easy to win?
Ah, right, yeah.
Was he ahead of Militao?
I've gone off the list, but I don't think so. No, he was seventh,
No.
I think, and Militao was fifth, I think. Off the top of my head.
Wow.
That's mad.
Well
done, guys.
that's a
You
very
did pretty well.
disappointing one, mate. We've been battered again.
Disappointing for us, yeah.
I think it's that dodgy website you got the information from.
I think so.
I wouldn't trust it.
Fucking £10 a month.
Thank you again.
It's good that I got a free month from Sorare 7, though. I'd have never been signed up to that.
That's why I've had to go and spend 20 quid on other stuff per month because I just don't get the value from Sorare data. The website's all right. It's the streams that.
It's the streamings that are just so
Yeah.
fucking annoying.
Yeah.
And this is the last time Laird comes on as guest host after we just decide to slate them.
This is the roast time.
Yeah,
That's what we should have done this episode, the roast of Andrew Laird.
Pull me in and be like, hey, yeah, come host, have a good time. Just mute my mic and just watch me sit here and cry.
I feel like when we feel like it's time to like stop the Make It a Double Double podcast, we'll do a roast, and then that'll be our last ever episode.
Oh yeah, just go into everyone.
Because we get cancelled after that anyway. So
yeah,
I mean, I had a bit of a dig on the intro to the RTG, didn't I? Of people. I mean, I don't even care. I'll just say it. We started the RTG at the start of the season, and then all of a sudden there's about 12 of them being run now. And we were like, we had this idea to do a £30 in, and now every week it's a new person doing an RTG, and we were like, well, that's that already going out the window because there's hundreds of them getting talked about.
I haven't posted in 2 weeks, but tomorrow I'm going to start an RTG. So so watch out for that one. No, I'm not really.
Do it, mate. There's a really good one that shows you how to play Sorare cheap, and he chucks 500 quid into a load of rares. How does that work? How's the road to glory doing rares off the bat?
Brilliant.
Other than that, I really like the guy.
I want to see the opposite. I want to see $5,000 go to zero.
Yeah, that'd be a good series.
Yeah.
Sounds. McBride should do that. Just with 1 week's winnings, open up a new account and put it in, and then just be like, "This is how to fuck up so bad," and just post it, and it'd be incredible. I'd prefer that to watch than someone just grinding away.
What do you think of the news? Going on to serious stuff of Sorare. What do you think of the new rivals kind of team leaguey thing that you have to do? 10 of you in there, combined scores, climbing up division. Fan or not a fan?
I love it personally, but that's because like our WhatsApp group there's about 20 to 30 of us in there, and we've created 2 separate squads, and you can compete and have a laugh and stuff like that. But I can imagine if you were on your own, just played Sorare and didn't have like many people involved in it, it probably is a bit tedious and not that interesting for them.
Yeah. Do you think that they'll do something that competes with FPL, where it's maybe not a season-long one, but more of an individual one that's longer than a week of rivals? Maybe it's a month or something like that. Do you think that's coming?
I think so. They should do. Because how good was it the World Cup that they did the Global Cup? And then it was the Euros that they did. I thought the Global Cup was really good. And then I thought the Euros League ones. Yeah, there we go. See that? Look at us just setting up the community there, Mark. On Sorare Sevens getting together for rivals groups. But yeah, the Global Cup wise, I loved it when it was individually ranked, but you were desperate to play every single game week because you were rewarded at the end of it. Now the Euros one was good, but I do think that the rewards were a little bit poor for a whole tournament run thing. Everyone got a card, but it was like a tier 4, tier 5, and that was it. Even if you finished, we finished quite high, didn't we, Mark? Didn't we have a group one that was like?
Yeah, we were top 100.
Yeah, we were top 100, and we just got a tier 3.
Don't forget the free essence.
And some essence, and I was like, we've just played the whole tournament to get like 60th, and we got a tier 3, and which sounds good, but with the values that they are now, it's obviously it kind of doesn't really change anything. But I'd love they do like hospitality tickets, they do absolutely loads of stuff like that for rewards. So I don't know why they can't just do, like you say, even if it was a season-long thing, just for Prem, do a Prem rival season, start to finish, with some serious rewards involved that you can't really say no to. I'd love that.
And it takes say if you want to do all 10 games that game week, you could takes your top 3 scores, adds it up, and then puts it in or whatever. I think I think that it's going to come eventually, but I think what they're obviously focusing on is people shouting about it to get more people signed up. And the quicker way of doing it is word of mouth, other than trying to pump some stuff into marketing and say, "Oh, well, this is how you do it," etc. That's obviously what they're trying to go through. Bring your mate in. Oh, look how easy it is. Show them your phone and all of that advert stuff that I just think never works. But there we go.
If you're in the pub with a group of mates watching a game, you still can't set up a mini league or anything. You just got to match to each other individually, which isn't as good.
Yeah.
In terms of bringing in new users, I still think they're missing a bit of a trick by, for example, they've got this all these good accesses. They've played at Anfield twice and had those sort of once in a lifetime experiences. If they approach someone like, some of these fan sites, like for example, I follow Redmen TV, who like a massive Liverpool fan site. They've got hundreds of thousands of followers who listen to their podcasts, watch their videos every single week. If they approach those guys and said, look, at the end of the season, we're taking X amount of people to play a once in a lifetime experience at Anfield. If you guys sign up to Sorare, play rivals, and invite your community into a mini league with you guys, the top 3 guys in your mini league at the end of the season, and you could set it so those guys only have to set rivals matches that Liverpool playing, the 38, or say they start it at Christmas, the remaining games for the Liverpool season. You play the Liverpool games, and whoever finishes top 3 or top 5 or top 1, whoever it is in that group at the end of the season, they can have a ticket to play at Anfield at the end of the season. Should you imagine like a fan site like Redmen TV with like 500,000 subscribers or whatever they've got, putting that out and saying, join our league. If you win or to come top 3, we'll take you to play at Anfield at the end of the season.
think the choice of advertisement always baffles me. So like, oh, Harry Redknapp's playing Rivals. No, he's fucking not. Like, we're not stupid. You're not advertising this to kids. Like, it's adults paying to play this game. No one thinks Harry's sat at home on his phone playing Rivals and stuff like that. He's not got a clue. He's just done it to get a padded envelope in his back pocket and just never opened the thing again. And it's like Mark says, there's so many different avenues that for younger, more modern advertisement than just paying a celebrity to put it on a tweet every now and then. Like there's those lads who do is it Pitch Side, those YouTubers that do like the Pitch Side podcast and they talk about football every week and the Prem and all that. They like do it live. They do all sorts of videos to millions of people that are from 20 to 40-year-old that play FPL, that follow football, that are really into the Premier League. Get them to do like a little bit before a live stream or at the start of a live stream. Pay them to be like, right, we're going to do a Rivals game in this live stream on a Saturday whilst this Prem game's playing, and whoever finishes in whatever position wins a reward or wins a chance at Prem tickets and stuff like that. People who are already watching a live stream are sat at home. So what's the difference to then loading up your phone, joining it, and carrying on watching the live stream whilst you're entered into the competition? It's a piece of piss. But Harry Redknapp on Twitter pretending to scroll for his phone, talking to Sandra in his living room, is not going to sell the game to anyone. I just think the advertisement, the marketing side is just so poor, I think.
It'd be more believable if it was Sam Allardyce, wouldn't it? Live from Barbados in his Speedos on a sun lounger. But
you could have the Sorare pants where you're deciding whether the badge is on the front or the back leg.
Yeah.
Answers all the questions we've been looking for.
Sorare socks and sandals combo.
Rico's just made a good point. You're telling me PK wasn't playing the games 24/7. Like, it's so obvious that these people weren't picking those lineups that it made it gimmicky. Like, you knew you weren't playing against PK's team, so why would you be interested?
What are you on about? PK's just really bad at Sorare.
Yeah. Sorry, yeah. He just picks random teams with DMPs in it sometimes.
No, like the point is, like, every single Premier League team now and teams across Europe have fan channels and stuff like that, where they have hundreds of thousands of subscribers and followers who pay to watch their content. If they could set up their own mini leagues and stuff like that and offer a great prize at the end, imagine a Real Madrid fan like meeting Zidane. Like, I didn't enter the Zidane competition because I don't really care that much about Zidane. It'd be cool, but it's not really my idol.
Yeah.
But a Liverpool fan being able to play at Anfield, a Spurs fan, whoever your idol is, Parrot, if those fan channels, they do watch-alongs and live streams for every game. If they put on their channel, the leaderboard of the rivals and stuff like that, I just think it's a good idea.
Look at Arsenal Fan TV; it's massive. The views that they get are ridiculous for a fan channel, and surely they're not probably going to cost as much as it is paying Mbappe or Messi or whoever it is just to stand there in a Sorare shirt and post it on the Instagram once a year. Like, that's not advertisement to me. I think it's pretty lazy, to be honest. I think they could do so much better with it. We'll send them some ideas, Mark.
Speaking of shots fired, Sorare, should we go on to some darts?
Probably not a bad idea. I don't even know the teams from last week because I'm a horrendous member of this podcast and didn't listen back to it, so I actually don't even know who was on it.
So last week we had the man himself, Mr. Jack P, also a returning guest for the second time, and his three picks were Manuel Neuer. There's Bundesliga special, Manuel Neuer, Kim Min-jae, and Eberici Eze. Manuel Neuer, 68.8, Kim Min-jae, 73.9, and Eze, 69.6.
Did well.
Yeah. So a combined score of 212 completely overshot the mark. We, however, might be on for one of our best scores.
The week I wasn't there.
So Adam picked Connor Roberts off of Burnley, of course.
He did shit, didn't he?
I picked Liam Scales because it was the first Old Firm derby of the season, who scored very well.
of 12.
And because as you love Leeds and always go on about Leeds and just can't get enough of them, we picked Leeds legend Matteo Joseph for you.
Legend. He's played about 4 games.
So Connor Roberts scored 33.5, Liam Scales scored 76.8, and Matteo Joseph scored 66.1, meaning we ended up with a combined score of 176.4.
Is that puts us first for the new season?
Sorry. Me and Adam ended up with a combined score of 176.
This is like a marriage, mate. What's mine is yours. So we're going to have to put this in because that is now officially the top score of the second season of Make It a Double-Double.
Did I win or come second last season?
I think you were very close.
You were really close. M. Penn ended up winning, coincidentally.
Yeah.
The bloody statman himself got 179.8.
Yeah, it was something crazy. Yeah.
Jesus.
Was Chris or on a budget not really close? And then because we normally check the scores before the next recording, and he checked it on the day when it happened, and he was like, "I'm pretty much bang on 180." We then checked it when we were recording like 5-6 days later, and because of Opta changes, he was like 6 points short. So he thought he'd won it, and we were like, "Nope, it's the time of recording is when the scores matter."
So this week, Parrot will take 3 from you, and we'll each pick one, myself, Az, and Laird. See where we end up. It's for this coming weekend's fixtures. Unfortunately, it's international.
Plus MLS.
Well, we've got the MLS. We have got the MLS.
Or MLS.
So I'm going to pick Matthias Klick. He's my first one.
Fucking Leeds scum. Yeah.
Yeah. Second one's going to be Fafa. I don't know how you pronounce his surname. Picout.
Oh,
Pico, I think.
Fafa Pico. Yeah.
Yeah. And then in case they both get decisive, because they're not too bad AA wise as well. So I need
just in case.
Yeah. Just in case, I'm going to go with someone who is so shit and just needs to retire. Tim Melia.
That's like swearing.
Away at New York Red Bulls. So I'm expecting like him to get like a 26, a 27, and then the other two to bag a decisive.
Don't mind it.
There we go. Yeah.
Mine's a bit of a gamble, to be honest. Main reason being is that I am going to pick an LAFC player, but the one I was going to pick was going to be Bogus, because he seems to score relatively well, even if he doesn't get a decisive. He's now going to Poland, and I don't know whether he'll play for them or not, so I don't want to risk him starting. Oh, you might want to change your pick because Fafa is apparently on international duty. So I'm going to gamble.
He's probably just as likely to bag a decisive for.
Yeah, but it's not on Sorare data. So...
Picked out is also up with Haiti apparently.
Yeah, but that doesn't make sense. So they're not scoring that at all. That game must be in a competition they're not scoring. Then
it's a pesky website.
Who are they even playing?
Do you know what? I'll change it. I'll go with Benteke then.
CONCACAF Nations League against Puerto Rico. I'm not sure if Sorare cover CONCACAF Nations League.
Yeah. We just go with Benteke and we'll have that double decisive.
Klick, Benteke, and Melia. Yeah.
Yeah. Go.
I'll do. You sure Benteke has not gone with Belgium?
I think that ship has sailed.
So I'm picking someone who I think should start, but I don't actually know if he's started a game yet. But surely he's due one, and it's Olivier Giroud. He's got to start over Kamara this weekend, especially with no Buanga, no Bogus. He's got to. Mark, Laird, any ideas?
Would you like to go first?
I'd like to see where Mark goes because I have 2 very different picks, and I need to see how many points we need here.
Okay. So I am going to go for one of the 6 joint top goal scorers of the Euros. He's a Liverpool player. He's only had minutes from the bench this season for his club.
Is he a left back by any chance?
He's not a left back. He's a left forward, and it goes by the name of Cody Gakpo.
So you're going to go for Simiskas.
They're at home to Bosnia and Herzegovina.
Close enough.
He should start as well, shouldn't
Do you really think Tsimikas was one of the 6
Oh, shit.
scorers of the Euros?
He's just playing left wing, just Gareth Bale in his prime.
Also, Greece weren't even there, so
Greece weren't even there. Yeah,
we just rocked up for a random team.
It was because we were on about yesterday saying that we're on about getting a new player for the RTG, weren't we? And that was one of the options. And then when he said only come off the bench this season, he's been coming on for Robertson every game, hasn't he? That's my reasoning for being a fucking idiot.
Both fullbacks. Trent has been subbed on 72nd minute in every game we've played.
He must be. I saw. I think it was the first game of the season, maybe, where he come off at in 70 minutes. He was fuming. He sat down.
Yeah, that was home against Brentford. Yeah.
God, I don't know. I mean, he's got to be destined for Madrid at some point, right? Surely.
Last season in a Liverpool shirt.
Him.
Now with Danny Carvajal around, apparently.
Yeah. Him, Van Dijk, and Salah in the last year of their contract. And Salah dropped a big bomb at the end of the United game, basically said that, it's my last season. And people aren't sure whether that means that he's decided or whether that was just a kick up the arse of the people up top to get a contract sorted.
Yeah, because that 300 grand a week he's on at the moment can't cover hardly anything for his living expenses. So he needs some extra cash in his pocket.
He's just paid for a hair transplant, mine. So that's why he shaved. That's why he shaved his hair off. Because the little bits here, which I also don't have, he's filled in.
So then, Laird, where do you think we're at then? If we've got Giroud and Gakpo, what are you thinking?
So I was going to go with some of my Houston defensive stacks, but Giroud doesn't work with that if they concede. Although maybe if they concede, I'm not sure. But I'm actually really tempted by a Liverpool player who is playing a European match this weekend and just actually take Tsimikas. Just because
I knew someone would do it.
It just feels right. It just feels right for the absurdity of the suggestion before. Let's just jam him in there. Home against Finland. What could go wrong?
They should win.
The guys that are doing projected lineups on Sorare data have got him 100% on the bench at the moment.
Checks out.
Why?
Reliability, surely.
Who's starting? Who's starting left back for him if he's not?
Mind you, he starts most of the time.
So I won that Mavropanos, is he called, from West Ham last week, and I was just tempted to flog him, but he's probably going to start at centre back, so I thought I'll keep him for this weekend, and then he'll drop in value because he has gone up quite a bit.
So red card dropping in value? No.
It's the first time I've ever seen it.
So I need to do the figure because I am genuinely going to be doing a video about kind of going into limited and whether it pays off with the 3 teams that I've bought, the 3 Prem teams that I've bought for limited in season, and how that's going to pay off at the end of the year, because I don't really plan on picking up too many more than what I've got, right? So I'm just going to run with it and see what happens. But the price that I've paid has to be at least double the floor now, definitely, and that's 2 weeks later. So God knows what it's going to be like in a few weeks' time.
But we've literally, we've done this on the Road to Glory. We were like, well, we're just going to buy in season and run a 1 in season contender, and that was his plan. And then luckily we've won cards and topped it up that way because the value is above, but every player nearly is just already dropped within the last week or two. And it's good. It's good within season.
Yeah, you can argue that, well, if you buy them earlier, then you're in the competition to obviously win money back quicker and all of that.
Yeah.
I kind of get it all, but I was going to pull the figures and stuff later so that I can record tomorrow or the day after. And I was just like, Jesus, I can already tell that some of these have literally plummeted. So,
I did forget about international weeks normally do cause a drop in some areas and increase in others and things, and then after it you get spikes again 24 hours before season before club football's back, because everyone goes, shit, yeah, I need to get them players and that. So it does have a weird effect on the market at times. Other than that, it's normally dropping.
Good.
Sorare Canario, the legend that is George, has said Giannoulis, is that how you pronounce it? So occasionally starts at left back, but not normally, apparently. And to be honest, if there's anyone I trust on lineup predictions, it's him, because he is an absolute baller when it comes to predicting lineups.
For Greece?
Maybe not Greece, but his accuracy on the Championship is good, and to be honest, it's better than my knowledge, so I'll trust him more than myself. I thought he'd scored the most goals in Euros, so it shows how much I know.
What I will say about George is that Dimitris Giannoulis used to play for Norwich.
He did.
And he is Sorare Canary.
All makes sense.
It all makes sense.
He's the Adam of the Norwich scene, just with less anger.
I was going to say,
probably
is it a
less
compliment
Taylor
or is it-
Swift. Less Taylor Swift memorabilia.
Wow.
Right, well, I think that covers everything then, gents, unless someone else has got anything they want to talk about.
I have no idea what the regular outro is as the host. So
You've got to call someone out in the community, and then we just end it on there and see what happens.
okay. Anyone's particular that you guys want to?
Whoever you fancy.
Probably Adam, to be honest.
Well,
Hi, Adam. Thanks for leaving so that I could step in. Parrot Press, thank you very much for coming and joining all of us. And Mark, thanks for inviting me as well. And I would click end, but I don't actually have any of the controls here. So thanks everyone for coming. Like and subscribe. Do that.
Thank you. Yeah. You can even say shout out to Quinny if you want.
Shout out to Quinny.
Thanks. So, which actually leads us into a good place, because thank you, Laird, for coming on and standing in as the guest host.
My pleasure.
Thank you, Parrot, for joining us. And next week on Monday night at 7 p.m, we haven't decided if it's going to be live or not. Our next guest host is going to be Quinny.
Let's go.
And we're also going to be joined by McBride. So 2 Scottish legends. Hopefully Scotland win at the weekend, so they'll be in a good mood. But we'll see. We'll catch you then.
hopefully they don't, so that they're in a really shit mood.
Yeah.
This would make the stream even more fun.
Yeah.
And if McBride doesn't say Guinness, I'll be really disappointed. So that's all I'm going to say.
Thank you.
Cheers, boys.
Cheers.
Bye, guys.